Harriette, welcome. We're going to talk a little bit about one of the new training courses in our portfolio. It's the DevOps and ITSM training. You are one of the lead developers of this training. So first of all, I'm very interested to understand why this training, why you and together with the ITpreneurs team decided that there was time to develop such a training.
Mostly because it's been, you hear DevOps everywhere. A lot of organizations in the Netherlands are very interested in DevOps, but we still have a very large community who is a professional in service management. So for them, I wonder, how does DevOps fit in? I mean, if we have DevOps, do we really need service management, or is it something we can just throw away? In my opinion, no. So for us, developing this course is focusing on bringing those two worlds together. So that was the starting point for developing.
As a consultant, you always also work within a lot of offices of our clients.
Mm-hmm.
So you meet a lot of IT service management professionals every day. What was the trigger when talking or working with them that you saw the need for such a training? Can you give an example in real life that you encountered?
Well, same as what happened with Agile in the beginning is that when they started developing, Agile developing, the idea was we don't need any documentation. So if you look at DevOps, bringing and especially looking at stability, availability of IT services, do we need incident management? And yeah, of course we do. We still do, because what happens between two DevOps teams, if incidents are passed around, we still need those processes. We still need a way of working standardized among teams.
So we need to empower the ITSM professional to have such discussions and to understand that, that tone of voice, that language. Is that what this course can provide them with? Yeah,
for them, I think it's important to be aware that IT service management is there to stay. It provides a very sound basis for successful DevOps teams. And
it's not a hype.
No.
Not anymore.
No, for me, because same with, if you look at Lean and Agile, especially Lean doesn't say how you should do your work. And that's where the ITSM processes come in. It's still one of the best practices in the world. Yeah. And even if I look at the gurus in the DevOps world, even they say DevOps cannot do without these service management.
Yeah, but if you look read articles and blogs of our colleagues, or all over the world, you see DevOps killed ITIL, but you see a lot of similar articles talking about DevOps needs ITIL. So I can imagine there's a lot of confusion also going on. What's the relation between DevOps and IT service management / ITIL? What's your personal opinion in that?
If you say DevOps killed ITIL,
that's not true, because if it was, you were not developing this course, of course.
No, not for me. Like I said, you still need those processes. The only thing with ITSM or the ITIL best practice framework is that we always thought that it is something that is very bureaucratic. But that never was the goal of ITIL.
We made it like that, maybe.
We made it bureaucratic. I mean, in the beginning, in the 90s, I myself did it, that we produced a lot of paper. And I said, okay, we implemented ITIL because we produced a lot of paper. Process documentation. That's not what ITIL and ITSM is about. It's about delivering good quality IT services.
It's the same objective.
Yeah, and a lot of the KPIs, if you look at DevOps, the KPIs are the same as the KPIs we use in ITSM services. Okay. Mean time to repair, time to market, it's still important. Okay,
and if you look at the target audience for this training, we talk about ITSM professional, it's a big audience.
Yeah, that's good for us.
That's good for us, indeed. Are there other groups of people within companies that this training course could be relevant to? Maybe on the business side, or maybe within the DevOps team themselves?
Mostly also for business side. You see that IT, information technology, not even ICT, but IT, moves much more towards business. So business gets more and more involved in developing new services. Even if you look at Agile and you see the role product owner, that's a business role. So for them to understand what DevOps is about and how they will get involved is one. And even for people who are working in DevOps teams, the other way around, to understand that they still need the ITSM processes as a sound basis without producing too much paper, documentation, I think they can be a target group as well.
So they're all welcome. It's a one-day course. That is a short time to put a lot of topics and discussion in thing. What's the setup, the approach of the course to make it as effective as possible?
For me, we decided not to have too much theory. If you want to have the real theory on DevOps or on
the vocabulary,
ITSM,
things like that,
too much detail, I mean, we have other courses for that. So we give you a global overview of ITSM again, but most people know that already, and of the theory and the ideas behind DevOps. And then most of the time we spend on active workshop-like exercises involving people in discussions,
sharing experiences.
Sharing experiences. Talking to each other from what does it mean within my organization? How did DevOps started in my organization? What was the journey we made? And where are we now?
So putting a lot of context around the discussion itself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting involved and all that.
And if I leave at the end of the day, let's say it's Friday and I'll come back to the office on Monday, what am I able to do? Where can I start? What did you give me that makes me successful from that moment on in this kind of situations?
Well, first of all, the understanding and the awareness that those two worlds, ITSM and DevOps, are not two separate worlds, and that they can play a very important role in bridging those worlds to make even stronger in delivering IT services. Because in the end, that's what we want to do. That's what DevOps want, but that's also what is the most important thing in the ITSM world.
Yeah. So
having the sound discussion with each other, understanding and trying to strengthen each other.
To go forward. Huh?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. This is, I think, nicely fitting also in the portfolio of the DevOps Agile Skills Association. Yes. We are one of the founders of it, together with ITpreneurs and Sabia. But it is not included in the DASA portfolio. No. How does it fit in that portfolio? What's the connection? Or maybe, there's another connection that you maybe want to tell a little bit more about?
It makes it easier to go from this course, ITSM DevOps course, to the DevOps fundamentals. Because then you bring in some more understanding on how DevOps works in your world, in your organization. So it's a nice start for the DevOps fundamentals. Okay. And from there on you can move forward.
Yeah. How's the course designed? Can you tell a little bit about that?
Yes, the course, because we didn't want to do the huge slideshow. So I stand in front of a screen, slide after slide. So we do have a couple of slides on the theory. If you want to know more about the theory, we have the ITIL courses or the DevOps courses with the DASA. For us, most important was to make it as interactive as possible. So we have also a lot of films, videos we developed. We want people to have discussions among themselves, to share on how DevOps and ITSM are working together, how it's working, coming out.
With a trainer as facilitator of the discussion.
We facilitate, we come up with some pointers. So, for instance, like how are you gonna do incident management in a DevOps organization? Is it still there or not? Does it disappear, and how do you need it? And we have some use cases for that.
How would you describe the learning objectives?
Well, the most important one is awareness, understanding how DevOps and ITSM work together. Some main pointers, some focus on what you should do and how you should bridge the two worlds to make them both better.
And are you looking at it from a point from DevOps to IT service management and from IT service management to DevOps? Or?
Both, because my original background is service management, okay. So I will never be able to say there's no service management, but it's both, because they need each other both. Yeah. I mean, IT services, delivering services is about delivering good quality, what the business wants.
Okay, and are there any prerequisites for the training itself?
Well, I mean, it's good to have the backgrounds, the basics of the ITIL Foundation training. That really helps. that's a good starting point. But there's not any other certificate necessary.
Okay, is it an accredited course or?
No. Our objective was really bringing people together, having discussions, making sure that people are aware and understanding.
Okay.
There's no accreditation. So everybody's free to come.
Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, thank you for your time and for your answers.
Okay, you're welcome.